Okay, so here's another way to kind of prove that there's air pressure in the air. We said it's almost 15 pounds per square inch. Now, I didn't measure that jar, but looking at it, it's probably 2.5 inches across or so. So if I did the math, just the standard stuff you learned, pi r squared, let's pretend it's 3 to make it easy. So we'll say it's 1.5 inch radius. Pi times the radius squared, 15 squared, 1.5 squared would be 2.25 times 15. So we're looking at like 30 and another fourth of that, like 37 pounds or something. Well, this is a 1 quart, 2 pint mason jar, so it holds 32 ounces. So 2 pounds of water is what's in there. And then on the air, on the surface right there, I'm gonna have, close to 40 pounds of air pressure or whatever we just said that's pushing down on it. So I'm gonna take this plate and I'm just gonna stick it on the jar, okay? Now I just have a styrofoam plate sitting on a jar. I have 2 pounds of water, but I'm trying to tell you I have a ton of air. Now, what's interesting is there's no air under the plate anymore. Well, it would have been if I hadn't knocked it off. Let me put a little more water in that cup because I don't want any water. I don't want any air in the top of the jar. I just want the jar to be full of water with no air at all because I don't want any air pressure. So I take the plate, I set it on top of the jar and just put it on the jar and make sure it's on there real good. And what I'm saying is the force of the air now should actually be stronger than the water. So that when I flip it over, and there's nothing fancy, I didn't glue it, I didn't tape it, but the air pressure on the bottom side of the plate is greater than the weight of the water that's pushing down on the plate. And there's no air to balance it out. So that's kind of a weird thing. Of course, you can freak your friends out if you want to do that because they think you're getting ready to dump something on their head, but it won't go. Now, if I let just a little bit of air get inside the plate, between the plate and the edge, and I pulled it apart, then what we're gonna see is the air comes in and all the water goes rushing out, and then I make a big mess. But that's some more interesting things about air pressure.